to Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi, a podcast that showcases people you may not know who are choosing to use their gifts to inspire and move the planet.
All right, this is my guest, Linn Purdon. I am so happy to be here with her. She is interviewing with me all the way from Sydney, Australia, and I'm grateful that she was able to take time out of her schedule and talk to us right here on Straight Out of Savannah, Talking with Tammi. So I'm going to give her an opportunity to introduce herself and tell you what it is that she does. Linn?
Oh, thank you, Tammi. It's really lovely to be here. And oh gosh, it's a big question for me. What do I do? There's so many things that I do. But primarily, of late, what I have done is come back to a childhood gift of seeing energy. I have very early memories of being able to see everything around me is in terms of energy streams. And when I spoke about that as a child, I learned pretty quickly that other people don't see that. And so I spent a lot of my childhood and adulthood disconnecting from that ability, or doing my best to do that. And what happened was I became really, really sick. I became broke. I had terrible relationships, and life really ground to a halt. And when I look back now, I can understand why, because I was literally cutting off the flow of life energy that was moving through me by trying to fit in. And so I'm cutting a very long story, very, very short here, after a very long time and life and death type experiences on several occasions, I decided to stop trying to disconnect from it. Recognise it was a gift, not a curse, embrace it, and my whole life changed for the better. And now I've discovered that I'm able to hold that space for other people and help them come into that lovely aligned energy as well, and change their lives like mine's been changed, which is a great gift.
That is amazing. That's awesome. Yeah, you and I have a lot in common. I like the way you talked about that disconnect from the gift that you knew that you had. So when you begin to do that, did you see an immediate change, or was it a gradual change into who you are now?
So when I decided to embrace it rather than try to disconnect from it, you mean, yes. Oh, look, no, it was gradual, because the way that I see now that, I really give myself permission to see everything as energy, what I notice is that, let me come back and explain something that I see from right at the very first day that we are in on this planet. If you can imagine a number of brand new babies just been born, and we line them up together. Yes. Most people would say when they first see brand new babies is that they're terms like angelic or beautiful energy, or they're divine. Because energetically they're still very strong in terms of vibration, and only a little bit in terms of human flesh vibration is how I see it. However, each of those babies, even though they are so divine and angelic, they're all unique. They've all got something that's special, that's very unique, and I call that their inner brilliance, or their energy blueprint.
Yes.
Just think of words to put on this energy thing that I see. So what I notice is, and I do lots of chatting energetically to babies because I learn so much from them. It often holds up people in the supermarket because the babies are I'm chatting. It's quite funny how they'll seek me out. So if we go back to that and recognise that was us, I mean, that's all of us came through as these little babies, mainly with vibration, with a little bit of this earth flesh that we were still trying to work out how to make work. And that we all had that beautiful, unique blueprint energy. Oh, wow. Then we come into, most of us, into a Western culture that doesn't honour that doesn't recognise that energy side of us, and instead starts training us to fit into whatever culture we're living into, and go to school and listen to what we have to do and to line up or to do whatever it is. The main lesson there is fit in. Now, often in order to fit in, we have to disconnect or twist our energy. And to me, it looks like a gnarled tree. Yes. It's all twisted, and we're trying to fit what we're told we need to do around this flow of our unique energy. And that's what I did very consciously, because I didn't want to be seen as different. But I think we all do it unconsciously, because we want to please our parents or our family or our community. And so we start doing that. So I had done this consciously, and what I was actually doing was building an energetic muscle. So the energetic muscle in this case was to twist out of my alignment to this blueprint energy that was uniquely mine.
Yes.
So when I decided, hey, Kate, this is just not working, because Western medicine had given up on me, and even alternative medicine just didn't know what to do with me, because everything they did was making me sicker.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, well, look, I've only got me left. No one else can do anything. And that's when I decided to start to embrace that energy. Well, I had a lot of energetic muscles that had built up strength in a reverse direction. So it took me a while to loosen those muscles and build other muscles, where the first thing I would do if I needed to make a decision was go energetically and not with information or book learning, just as one example. So over time, I learned to do that more and more and more. And then as I was doing that, I gained more and more trust. Mm-hmm. And then felt that I could really soften in and trust and rely on that information that I was picking up energetically. Yes. So it did take a little while for me to switch the muscle building so that I could really align to that inner brilliance.
Yes. Now, did you have a teacher or a mentor, or was there anybody in the flesh that you dealt with, or was this all spirit?
Well, look, it's a bit of both. Primarily spirit, because I followed and learned lots from lots of our wonderful teachers on the planet, like Louise Hay and Wayne Dyer, and the list goes on, of course. Yes. Just that general looking at the world differently. So there's a long list of people I could name on that list, but in the end it was really having to come back to my energy world and trusting the energy that I saw and that I experienced.
Yes. So with no particular, like a lot of people, they find a mentor, a shaman, or whoever or whatever. You know what I mean? A person.
Yes, I do. And no is my answer to that. No, I had to come right back into my own vibrational alignment and trust that. That was the challenge.
I'm laughing because I understand that completely.
Okay.
Because I asked for a mentor, and I've never gotten one.
That's why you're your own mentor.
You're right. It's like, okay, I studied this one, and I listened to Abraham, and Wayne Dyer, and all of those. Louise Hay was the first one. I read her book, You Can Heal Your Life. Mm-hmm. Actually, my grandmother gave it to me, and she probably was, for me, my first mentor, but she died, So I was like, what do I do now? And so I asked for one, and so that's why I asked you that question, because a lot of people, I talk to a lot of people, and they tell me, oh, well, you know what, I found such and such a person, and they helped to guide me through, and this, that, and the third, and all that. And I'm hearing you say, yeah, I listen to those people, and I, all those people from afar, but I eventually had to come to spirit.
Absolutely indeed. And it's interesting that you mentioned Abraham, as in Abraham Hicks. When I came across them, I was delighted, because for the first time I felt like someone else was talking my language.
Me too.
It was just so exciting to hear, hey, that's how I see it. That's how I, there was this other person or set of beings talking through a person that was validating. And I suspect that I wouldn't have been able to come across Abraham sooner than I did, because I had to come back and really acknowledge and work with my own and get my own validation before I heard it outside of me. And it was just delightful to it felt like meeting a family or meeting somebody. It's like, oh yes, you see the world like this too. I'm not alone. It was really lovely.
It was kind of like E.T. phone home.
Yes, it was. Very much actually. Very much.
Yeah.
Really good.
I so resonate. I understand. I felt the same way. It's like, oh goodness, here we go. I think this is my sister, my long lost sister, or something. Or like they say, my sister from another mother.
Yes. Or another planet, maybe.
It feels so weird, It's like, just like you said, growing up, you thought everybody saw energy, everybody
Absolutely.
to spirits, and and I used to have the what do you call those people? Oh God, can't even think of them right now. The imaginary friends,
Oh, yes.
you know,
Yes.
and I thought everybody did, but that was something everybody did, and for me, I used to, you know, have all kinds of other experiences that I thought everybody did, but I realized everybody didn't.
No, that's right.
So when you help other people
Mm-hmm.
to see their gifts and to see that, that it's time for them to come out of the spiritual closet and to use their gifts and to even first get comfortable with their gifts. How do you do that?
Well, there's a number of ways. It's interesting because it's always evolving. So when I'm working with anybody in a session, really what I'm doing and the way that I can best describe it is that I have the ability to connect to their inner brilliance, that thing that I was telling you about with the babies, that blueprint, that unique blueprint that we've all come through with. I am able to see that and connect to that energy, and then I'm able to act like an entrainer, so I can hold that vibration and then help my client come into that alignment so that they can feel it. And when we have that alignment happening, then we can have a look at their life, and I am able to read the energy in terms of that alignment. So if I'm working with someone, for instance, about their business, if that's the focus we have, then I can sort of look through their business energetically and say, well, this part has a lot of energy. That's really aligned with you. This part isn't. So and what I know to be true is that when you're in alignment and when you're living true to that alignment, and I talk about leading with that alignment, everything's going to flow and feel great, and it's going to be easy, and you're going to feel really satisfied, and things will come to you. You don't have to go out and struggle and hustle and pull and push and all those other things that generally in the Western world we're taught to do. So it's really useful to come into that alignment, and then let's go through and see, well, which parts are in alignment and what else could you do with that that's in alignment. And generally speaking, once people come into that alignment, it's not difficult. All those heart's desires that have been tucked away tend to start to come up because they have the same vibrational tone as that glorious inner blueprint energy, because it's meant to be. That's what you came through to do. And then we tuck them away because of whatever reason, of whatever belief that we've come to take on. And so because I'm doing that, holding the energy, really every session is totally unique, because I'm simply holding a space, lining with the energy, and then allowing it all to come through. And so not only do I hold that energy, but then I start to see pictures and words and sentences and energetic beings, I guess. It's more like it's not like a being, like a human being, but an energetic matrix. And I can see the energetic matrix of things before they actually manifest into the physical, so I can give people an idea of where it's at. And work with them. I mean, there's just so many. When you're talking energy, it's limitless. So it can turn up in so many different ways. And of course, nothing's off the plate because it's energy. So it might be relationship related. It might be health. It might be career. It might be money. It might be your garden.
Yes.
It really doesn't matter because it's all energy. So it's just a delight to experiment and see. Each time I do a session where we go, and often what will happen is they'll come to a point where what I will do with people is guide them through into a deep meditation state so that they're able to really move energetically into that alignment and get a real body feeling for it, and really what they're doing is simply remembering it, but really remembering it in a deep way, so that they've got like a North Star to come back to after the session. You know, so this is what it feels like to be in your flow. And it's really important to know what it feels like when you're in there and what it feels like when you're not. Because if you don't recognize when you're not in it, then it's almost like walking around with a blindfold on. You know, because I can tell you that when you're acting from a place out of alignment, things aren't going to be not so easy. They're not going to flow. And a lot of the effort you make isn't going to go very far because you're not leveraging the power of the universe. Because when you're in alignment with the energy blueprint, it's not just you've got leverage of universes beyond universes beyond universes. It's huge, the energy support that you have when you're in that alignment. So you don't need to actually take much action to get a lot done.
Right. It's like what's that character in the in the children's book, the king that everything he touched turned to gold?
Oh yes. Oh, Midas, was that his name? Midas? Yes. Yeah, that's right. Well, it really
like that.
It absolutely is like that. I just have a lovely time with this now because I sort of use all this energetic leverage in my business totally. So if I need to get something done, I always ask my energetic team, so look, I need that done by such and such time, and let it go. And then you just have great fun watching how it turns up, you know.
See, now that's
such a great game. It's wonderful fun. It really is.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
Because a lot of people in our business, they and we talked about this earlier before we came on, but they are in that push. And they can't get into the flow, so that they can do things and get into that alignment, even though they help other people get there.
I know, isn't it interesting?
Yeah.
Well, and look, and I've done it too, of course, because we're sort of trained. Well, there's two things. One thing that comes to mind really quickly here, particularly for women, what I noticed just simply watching energy is that the do, get out there, get your message out, and just hope that you get it out big enough and broad enough, and then it's going to, you know, someone's going to hear it. It looks to me like a very male energy model. And I'm not judging that in any way. I'm just saying that it's got a lot of male energy in that. And so when female entrepreneurs go and try and do that, what I notice generally, there's always exceptions, but generally what I notice is they tend to burn out really quickly because it's not and when you think about it, for us as women and females, it's much more a receptive energy generally if we're leading with a female energy.
Yes.
So what I'm notice is that when we can come into that alignment and then relax, soften into that, really get to trust it, and then get to know that it's not just our own unique alignment we've come into. We've come into that alignment with the flow, with the divine, with the universe, with life, with chi, with God, with whatever you want to call it. And so we are then, and I just see, you know, we are surrounded by this energetic, amazing foundation and support system. It's huge.
Yeah.
And so when we can really relax into that and allow it, so we're not blocking it, then a whole bunch of things happen. One is the things that we need start to come to us, but also we can, when we're really trusting it, we can just, it's a bit like the image I get is it's like having this pool of VAs or PAs or managers. You know, you've just got so many of them, and they're specialists in every area you can imagine. So I simply just say, okay, I need the writers of my team, please. I need a blog of how many words written by such and such, and I'm just handing it to you. I'm not going to think about it again until whatever day, and let it go. And then if ever it does come into my mind, I just think, oh, it's taken care of. That's done. My team are on to it. And then just watch what happens. It's just so funny. Either someone else will come and do it, literally a human being will end up just handing it to me, or I'll get this aha And I'll just sit down and write, and honestly, within 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it just flows through me. And something that if I tried to just do in my own mind might have taken me hours, will take me minutes. And it's a much better product than if I had struggled with it. And, you know, that's the writing side, but there's everything, you know, it can be, you know, can you sort out, I'm overwhelmed with housework. I just deal with it, you know, and then I let it go. And again, it's just amazing. Either someone else does it, which is what happened for me last night, quite unexpectedly, or suddenly I'll be listening to some sort of podcast that's just got me totally involved in what's going on. And before I know it, the dishes are all cleaned up and the meal's made. And I think, oh, how did that happen? You know, it's just amazing how this works. And when you really get into the flow of it, it's thrilling, because when I hand it over now, I just think, oh, how's that going to show up? You know, it's like, there's a tingle and an anticipation and an excitement.
That is awesome.
Yeah, it is. It's great fun.
That is awesome, because the thing is people, you know, you get into this stuff and you say, oh, well, I'm going to read energy, and I'm going to do readings, and I'm going to do sessions, and I'm going to, you know, do all these things. And then you start thinking, yeah, but if I do 10 of these, then I'll be able to make this kind of money, and blah, 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 blah. And then you don't get 10 of them, and you don't make that.
That's right. That's right. And then that drags your energy down, which means that you're not likely to bring it in, because
then it's like you're on Facebook begging.
Indeed.
Please.
It's the wrong sort of energy.
Instead of, you know, I'm putting it out there, and I'm, you know, doing it with love, and I'm bathing it, and you know what, I'm just saying, okay, because this is what I ask God, the universe, you know, whoever for.
Yes, that's right. And that's right. And there's being in that open, trusting, loving space. As I said, things come to you rather than you having to struggle. And also too, like, because now I do just use my whole business this way. I let my energetic CEO team direct what I do, and I've done all the standard training, business training about, you know, being on Facebook or being and using social media and all that, all the standard thing. And that little voice still hums along in my mind, and every now and again I'll catch myself thinking, oh, I haven't posted everywhere, and I should be, you know, and then I think, hang on, you know, and I step back. And when I'm in my alignment, what happens is I'll be doing something else, and I just see like a download of what I need to post and where I need to post it.
Yes.
And I just go do it. And the ones that are like that, I, you know, get all the reach, and I get the, you know, and I have no idea how these algorithms work, but my team obviously do, because,
well, once you figure it out, they change it.
Well, this is it. So I don't even bother with that. I just figure that, you know, my energetic team will sort that for me. And then a few weeks ago, I got out of my own alignment, and I got back into that, I've got to get posts. And I went back yesterday and had a look at those posts, and you know, no one had seen them. The posts that I had done in that space, I haven't been posting, and I'm supposed to be doing this stuff, you know, no one saw them. And I just sat here and laughed at myself and thought, well, of course they did.
Yeah, because you were all crazy, you know.
I was crazy, absolutely, totally crazy.
Because they're like, somebody told me, oh, you need to post every 2 hours. I said, I can't post every 2 hours. I work. And we're going to go to the bathroom, you know. I was like, you know, and what would I eat? You know, I feel like I miss a meal. I don't. You know, not very much.
I'm with you.
I was posting on Facebook and Instagram, and you need to get on Pinterest. Oh, you need to get on Twitter. I was like, I don't even know how to twit.
And I was the same. When I first started online, I was trying to do it all too, and I was on all of those platforms and driving myself insane. And you know, and when I had that epiphany of, hey, you know, I do all the rest of my life based on this energy. Why am I doing business based on someone else's model and not letting, you know, my alignment and my energy team tell me? And then they just said, you know, the direction was, you know, just drop everything but Facebook. And then they chose, I think it was about 6 different groups to hop into when I was told to hop into, you know, like really simple, really, really nothing like I've been taught to do, you know. And I'm thinking, are you sure? But of course, since I've done and I just follow, you know, my business has been much more successful than the other way. So I just trust that.
Exactly, because
For me, this is a much better way of doing it. And what's more, it's sustainable. I don't exhaust myself in it because that's how I was doing it, you know, when I was trying to do it the way other people do it.
yes, I was going to say,
Right.
I had coaches that were like, well, I think I think you're a women's intuition coach. And I'm like, I don't resonate with that coach thing. I just don't. I was like, no, I am a healer. I was
Yes.
like, you know, I help people to heal, you know, especially women to, you know, to learn how to get out of their own way and stuff like that. And I was like, I don't really like that coach stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because I like sports. So when I think of coaching, I think of football and basketball and, you know, all that. And, you know, I'm like, and I think of, you know, push, push, push and rah, rah, rah.
Yes. And it can be very much like that. Mm.
Exactly. I was like, no. So I took a step back. And I just kind of pulled back from everything. And I was like, I'm not doing nothing right now.
No.
Until I began to hear and, you know, see. And, you know, they were like, oh, you need to be on, you know, so many days a week. And you need to this and that. And you need to blah, blah, blah. And I was like, no. Because some days I don't feel like being on Facebook.
Yes.
I'm not camera ready. You know, some days I need to do something to this hair. You know, I need to, you know, either figure out if I need a wig or, you know, do something to it. And I don't feel like it. You know what I mean? So it's like,
I know what you mean.
or you know, maybe I don't feel like putting on some earrings and, you know, making myself look real cute because I got on my nightgown all day. You know, you know, and so I had to go there. You know, so you're right. And I think about it now. It's like, yeah, energetically, I wasn't in alignment with that stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And well, and talking of that too, you know, I have done Facebook Live videos where it's not come from that aligned nudge, it's come from I should do it. And equally, you know, when I look back at them, that they're sort of, they don't have vibrancy to them. And generally speaking, very few people, if any, actually see them. So now I'm convinced, you know, like unless it's that aligned nudge, and that's what I teach a lot of my clients. So it's about learning when you hear that, how to hear it, how to feel it, and to know it. That's when you act, and it just makes so much sense. And now I'm really convinced that if I'm acting outside of that, so when I'm not in alignment, I'm just wasting my time. I might as well just go to sleep or go and have some fun somewhere, go and have a bath. Because it's not
a movie, you know, Netflix and
absolutely. Go and do something really yummy for myself. You know?
Yeah, go grab some ice cream, you know.
Yeah, whatever it is, just go do it, enjoy it. Just forget it because it's not going to work anyway. You just
because it's a waste. You know, it ends up being a waste of time. You know, all the way around, nobody sees it. And then you're on there, and you know, and sometimes what I'm learning now is that I can feel it more when it is, and most of the time, if it is, I'll pop right off. I'm like, nope, not doing this. Okay, thank you. This was Tammi. Bye.
Yes. Absolutely. I have, and I understand that too. I've actually hit the delete button, you know, a few minutes in, I think this is not going
to work.
This is just not where I'm meant to be right now, and I'm not listening. And also the muscle I'm still working on undoing is the one that will have me say, I hear the words, oh, I'll just finish this. I'll just do that first, you know, then and if I catch those words and watch the energy in my body, it feels like this instead of like this.
Yes. So it's not open. It's just
it's not in a flow, it's not in a joy, it's not in an ease, it's in a go. And that's the space it just won't flow in. It's not going to work. So go do something.
It's like you're having an energetic heart attack.
Yeah. Oh, beautiful. That's a lovely example. I have to remember that one. That describes it beautifully. Absolutely. That is perfect. I really like it.
Blood's not flowing, so you know nothing is open, and
that's right. Yes, totally agree.
You know,
Yes, and just coming to mind, I did a card reading somewhere recently, And we'd set the intention that we were going to ask about business, what would help us in our business. And I pulled the card of self-care. And I caught myself in that moment going, oh, that's odd. How do we relate self-care to business? And then I caught myself and thought, hang on, why does that feel so odd? And I recognised, well, how many people would put self-care and business together in the same sentence?
Right.
And yet I realised, hey, it should feel like that. Whenever we do any business, it should feel like luxuriating, peaceful, joyous, satisfying, wonderful.
Yes.
Really?
Like
if we don't have this in work.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That is not.
And so many people don't.
No. Well, even me, CC Energy was still working on this. Hang on, self-care and business don't go hand in hand.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I've really changed since then and thinking, okay, if I'm not feeling like what I'm doing is nourishing me, then stop doing it, because it's not going to be nourishing anybody else, you know.
I saw a post like that. It was like, if you don't enjoy your business and what you're doing, then what the fuck are you doing it for? And it was like, I like that.
I do too, but I'd only ever read it in terms of for yourself. Like, if you're not having fun in what you're doing, find something else to do so you can have fun. And I thought, well, yeah, that sort of makes sense. But suddenly I got it from this new perspective. If I'm not enjoying it, if it's not nourishing me, then energetically it can't serve other people.
No.
Because I'm sharing the heartache energy. That's interesting. And heartbreak energy, heart attack, heartbreak energy, not the abundance, plentiful energy. Mm-hmm. That's a whole new way of looking at it.
Yeah, because you got to know that it's your energy that people feel when you work with it.
It's all energy. And I guess that's, now that I've come back to really embrace it, I see it everywhere. We can dress it up with nice words, nice clothes, hairdos, makeup, whatever we want to do, even cool moves. But at the end of the day, it's energy. Yeah.
I was going to say, you know what they say? You can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig.
Oh, you're gorgeous. I'm going to have to remember that one. I love it. Lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig.
Still a pig.
Oh, how wonderful.
When I talk to a lot of ladies, you know, I talk to them about that, especially in terms of relationships and stuff. I said, now you can dress it up. You can get this man and you can clean him up and you can dress him up. I said, but in the end, he's still a dog. You dressed him up, you cleaned him up, but he's still a dog. And you knew that's what he was when you cleaned him up and dressed him up. So why are you surprised that he's acting like a...
Oh gosh, my ribs are hurting. You're just so much fun to be around.
I just tell the truth and make it plain.
Indeed. Yes.
Okay, so if there was one piece of advice that you could offer to any person that was in the place where you were stuffing your energy and, you know, not being true to who you were, what would you say to them?
Oh, wow. Right back there. I'm just wondering what I would have been able to hear back then. Right. Yeah. I mean, I know what I'd say now to the person I am now, but way back there. I guess it would be something like, just for a moment, hold the possibility that the answers aren't outside of you, that nobody else actually has them in a way that's uniquely right for you. Just hold the possibility, just play with that possibility that you have everything that you need to know within you, and that you can learn to hear that and be guided by it, and that you only need to know what the next step is. because I think for me back then, I wanted a whole map. I wanted to see the map of there to where I am now, you know, so I could trust it. And of course, it doesn't work like that. So two things: hold that possibility, play with the possibility that you have what you need inside and you can be directed and guided. So just open to that possibility, and then know that you only need to know the next step. That's all you need. Because once you're at that next step, you can go to the next step and the next step, and they add up. And that learn to trust that you only need the one step. Wow. I think that was probably the trickiest bit for me, was learning that, okay, I'm not going to see the whole journey ahead of me. I'm just going to see the next step, and to trust that. And in fact, it's a very wise thing to only get one step at a time, because if back then, if I had seen where I am now, I think I would have just put my head on the covers.
No, that's okay. I don't want to go there.
I'm gone. That's it. Finish. So become at peace. Just need one step. Just one step at a time. And that you can learn your unique language, your unique inner language. That will show you how to do that.
Yes.
I think that's what I would say. Yeah. And be kind and gentle with yourself. You know, it's a journey and we're all on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is powerful. I look at it and I think about checkers. You know, you can look at the whole board.
Oh, yes.
But you can only see the step ahead of you, because you don't know what the other person's going to do.
No, you don't.
You know, so I think about, I get analogies like that.
That's great. That's a great analogy. And the pig with the lipstick.
But you know, and that's the thing. You know, it's like, okay, it's a whole world out there. You can see the whole world, and now you can really see it. You can go on Google Maps and pull up the whole world. But you still can't see where you're going to go, you know, beyond the next step.
Yes. And I think there's another bit to that next, just having one step at a time, is that step is to really cherish it, to really learn to be in that one step, because energetically that one step is the whole world. And I know that makes our head go crazy, but it's a full matrix. It's a full holographic energetic exploration of your whole world. So really take that step and soak in it and love it and align with it and be with it and be contented that the next step is inevitable. There's always going to be another step, because expansion is inevitable.
Yes,
but really, so we can hold that contradiction. I can be present in this moment, in this step, and fully be it, and fully suck every piece out of it and roll in it and love it and enjoy it and experience it fully, and know there's more to come.
Yes.
I think that's the truth.
That is powerful. That is so powerful, because the thing is people, you know, people need to hear that, because it's like you said, everybody wants a blueprint. You know?
Oh, absolutely.
Because we're in a microwave society. You know, we want to drive through McDonald's and get our food in 2 minutes, and get mad if it takes 5. And, you know, this
absolutely, you're right.
This is the world we live in, you know, and
it is.
Fast food, fast everything, you know, and then we want it to taste good, and we want it to be nutritious. You know? And so people feel the same way, you know, they're like, oh, you know, I asked about such and such a thing, and, you know, the universe didn't even tell me anything. And you look at them and you say, you don't say. When'd you ask? Oh, about 30 seconds ago. Oh, okay then.
And there's a skill in learning how to listen, isn't there? And each person, you know, that will be a unique process for everybody, and they will have their way of communicating to the universe in that energetic form. What I see is that it's very aligned to their inner brilliance again. So the tone of their inner brilliance will very much formulate how best you individually communicate within that energy and to the universal support that's around you. So it's all very unique, and it's about learning that, just as we learn how to deal with our unique bodies. I mean, everybody's body is different, isn't it? Our energy is exactly the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where are you, one last question, where are you going now with your business? Where do you see your business going now?
Okay, well, at this point, I can see 3 distinct places that it's going. I'm in my 4th renovation of my website, if renovation is the right word for a website. And I can see that inner brilliance is sort of my umbrella term. That is what I work with. That is what I see. And that is the core structure, I think, of everything I do. And then from there, there's 3 distinct places that are opening up. One is working with female entrepreneurs and really helping them to bring their inner brilliance into their business and align their business with that. And then to be able to really see where their energy is flowing and where it's not, and to work with them to let go of the bits that aren't in alignment and really step up the ones that are. Then there's what I'm calling, let me see if I can get this right, life, love and healing section that comes under that, which is working with your inner brilliance to really bring your life into alignment. And generally speaking, you know, there's the everyday life, there's the love, which includes your family, your partners, all of those sorts of things. And then there's the healing, because generally speaking, when we get out of alignment energetically, our body really has a tough time. And so getting back into that alignment, that can really help in that way to bring all of those aspects back into some sort of flow for you. And then the third aspect is card readings. And I've used cards forever and love them, and I've only ever played with them. And and actually, I said I only ever played, but I love the play feeling that they bring to what could be a quite heavy subject. So I've been experimenting again using all sorts of different card decks and reading the energy as well. And it's a lovely way for some people to be able to come and taste the energy work in a more lighthearted, or I don't say lighthearted, because sometimes you're still working with something that might be quite deep, but it gives you a tangible step in. It makes it just a little bit less ethereal, I think, and it's great fun to do. So that's sort of the 3 places the business is headed right now.
So what's your favorite card deck?
My favorite card deck, look, I've got it actually sitting on my desk right now. Can you see that? It's the Archangel Oracle card. Is that yours too, the way you're laughing there?
My favorite was as well.
Yeah, that's the one I've had around the longest. And yes, there's just some beautiful, beautiful energy there with those cards. And I did a reading for someone earlier today with those, and it was just crazy how accurate and spot on it all was, and how it was able to, because I actually did the energy work first. We drew the cards face down. I did the energy work first, told them what I was thinking and feeling and what I could see. Then we picked up the cards, and the cards reflected exactly what we'd just been talking about. And what was lovely, though, is you get this beautiful image, and it's just a lovely way to sort of hang everything on what we've just been talking. You've got some tangible image and some direction there on the card, which seems to pull it all together. So it's great fun.
That's awesome. I love
it.
Yeah. All righty. Well, I have truly, truly enjoyed this. This has been an amazing connection, an amazing time. I have loved talking to Linn. Linn is so awesome. So if you have a chance, I'm going to drop her website in the post so that you're able to go to her website, her 4th renovation.
Renovation. Yeah.
So we're going to drop her link in the post. That way you can get a chance to go to her website and check her out and see what you need her to do for you. Because we're going to put that out there. And I really appreciate this time, and I thank you for blocking it out for me. She's just the sweetest, and I love her energy. And you guys check her out. She's on Facebook doing some readings as well, and she also does private readings as well. And you'll get a chance to check that out on her website. Any last thoughts, Linn?
Oh, just to joy, find joy. What I notice with joy is that the vibration, the things that will individually bring people into a joy place that they really find joyful, energetically matches their inner brilliance. It's the same sort of energy. And of course, all sorts of different things will bring different people into that joy place. And that's just as unique as your inner brilliance. So if you're wondering after listening to this, oh, where's my inner brilliance? Go do something that really makes you feel joyful, and there you go. You'll meet yourself there. You'll meet your truth of who you are.
Oh, wow, that is powerful. So you guys make sure that you listen to this whole video because every bit of it has amazing golden nuggets that will definitely bless your socks off. So again, this was Linn Purdon, and I am Tammi Morrison of Unleashing Your True Self. And you guys, thank you for watching. And make sure that you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And tell your friends, let them know that we're on and that we're doing great things. And if you are doing great things and would like to come on and be interviewed, just send me a private message or send me an email. My details will be in the comments. So thank you so much for watching.